out, you buswhack.
Today, I get to drive a complete and utter time warp. This 1987 BMW E30 325i has been owned by the same family from new, and it has only covered just over 21,000 miles. And that's why it looks and drives like a brand new car. Welcome to another episode of Pete and his bus. First of all, I'd like to wish you all a very happy new year. Compo and I are extremely excited about 2023.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I hate all this.
Okay, well, I'm extremely excited about 2023. And to mark the occasion and Compo's foul mood, we have launched the Compo sticker due to popular demand. It is now available on the website. See the link below and order yourself a copy. This time on Pete and his bus, I'm going to be doing a lot of work on the actual bus, but I'm going to be working on the inside. But before I do that, some of you have asked me what I did for New Year's to celebrate. Well, this is it. Back in the day, my ideal way to celebrate the new year would have been to go up to the big smoke, watch a few bangs, drink a copious amount of poisonous liquid, and then join a bunch of strangers in a smelly room and try and talk to people with boobies. Luckily, I've done a bit of growing up since then.
Yeah, right!
And what I really enjoy doing now for New Year's is to go to Brooklands Raceway and do the New Year's Day classic car meeting. For those of you that don't know what Brooklands is, it's actually a derelict banked oval racetrack. Its claim to fame is that it was the first purpose-built motor racing track in the world. It opened its doors in 1907, and apart from that, it also housed the biggest hub for aviation, so aircraft building in Great Britain back in the day. So you can go there, it's a museum now, you can see all things moving from all eras, so airplanes, bikes, cars, you name it. And when it's not raining on New Year's Day and they open the doors and say, come and bring your own classic car, you can imagine it gets pretty busy. But there is also another reason why I'm here, and that one is pretty self-explanatory right now. So the Brooklands Bus Museum is definitely worth a visit. There are some beautiful things in there of all shapes and sizes, and I know that they also mix their display up constantly, so it's not like you go there again and you see the same thing. There's always something new and exciting in that very museum. There was one item though that really stood out for me. It's by far my favorite, and because I have a really close connection with it. As some of you might know, I do catering from a bus. RML 2355 is a bar, and I do festivals and events around the country in the summer, but it turns out that someone else had that idea long before me, and this is it. So don't be freaked out by these weird looking mannequins. The London Bus Museum was absolutely worth it. It's free to enter, but they do ask for a donation, and I highly recommend it for a nice day out. For those of you that have watched previous episodes of Pete and His Bus, you will know that right in the beginning I did a load of work to the inside. I basically stripped all the seats out, I took the floors up, I took all the carpets out and everything, and I also removed the lighting downstairs for it to be possible to make the hatches on the other side. And when I did, I discovered all these really cool vintage adverts. It was a bit of a treat. I never removed the lighting upstairs because it's quite a big job and I didn't have to at the time, so there is a chance that we've got more beautiful vintage stuff to be found. So let's go and have a look. The advertising and lighting boards upstairs are far longer than the ones downstairs because of course the bus runs over the front cab and over the rear platform. Now I'm going to try and remove these and not break anything because I'm sure someone in the bus world can make use of these things, and to do so all we need is a minimal amount of tools. So now I've got to really carefully untangle all these electrics. So the last cap on this side is a good one. It's saved, and when I took it off, it says 96 QTY LH end finishers. I'm sure some of you bus geeks out there can explain all that, but I'm guessing this was put in place in 1996, and the end finishers were whatever those initials are. There you go. Sadly, there wasn't a vintage feast for our eyes behind the old lighting and advertising boards, except for this little one. Right, let's get all this rubbish out of the bus. The last items to be taken out of the interior of the bus are all these old security cameras. pretty dirty. So I'm now going to use a computer. We're going to hack into these cameras and we're going to see what footage we can find. No, I'm not. Do you know why? Because these cameras are completely fake. Look, there's nothing in there. It's just a little plastic box. Think of the things you could have got away with. So now that all the interior fixtures and fittings have finally been removed, what is next? Well, I've made the big decision to start work on the inside of the bus downstairs. And that immediately brings me to all these beautiful vintage adverts. I'm worried that with what I am actually doing with the bus, these are not going to get fully appreciated and also might get damaged. So I've made the decision to try and remove them but keep them all in one piece. Wish me luck. One piece. Off you come. Woo! How cool is that? Oh yeah. The sticker isn't so old, so I'm not all that fussed about keeping it. But what is cool is that the sticker was actually printed for this bus. And there you go. Oh, too easy. Come on, 2730. I thought you had a challenge for me. Oh, baby. Oh, we got something underneath. That's a cool reveal. Bad news, ladies and gentlemen. The prices are going up. Oh, too easy. That's what I call a 100% success rate. And the best news is I've got a fellow bus owner who's going to take these off my hands and preserve them. For those of you that have been watching me for a long time, you know that the emergency exit window is no longer here. Hence, these stickers are no longer needed. But they have been on there for a long time, and I've got bad news. There is another set underneath. I have also discovered a really good way of removing all the paint. With the old paint coming off so easily, I decide to reload my scraper with a fresh blade and scratch and scrape all the curved panels to see how much of the old stuff I can remove so that it can potentially be repainted. This is typically the kind of job you think is going to take 5 to 10 minutes. Reload, demug! But of course, it ends up taking the whole day. It is a good thing that I love buses. Reload, demug! And seeing that I was in such a scratchy mood, I thought I'd continue straight away and tackle the really tough stuff. This is the glue that held the carpets on the walls. next few days, I pull off a bit more smelly eyes down carpet and I remove the glue that's behind it. I also tackle these seat brackets that are still attached to our bus, and I actually managed to remove them all without damaging any, and I'd like to point out that I did not use an angle grinder to remove some of these, because I actually don't own one. These are the heater pipes that are still under there. I'm going to leave them because someone might want to use them in the future, but we're going to have to figure out a way to hide them and make this look nice. Now, luckily, I have a bit of original material that matches. So we're going to do a bit of measuring up and put a patch over it. And this is my favorite guillotine called Jill. And her last name is Otine. Get it? Now for some more holes to be patched up. Hello Jill, how are you? Looking sharp. If you think this is all a bit rough and ready and a bit of a bodge up, but trust me, when all of this is polished back, all of this is painted and cleaned, and all of this is painted, it'll look just right. And now it's finally time to get rid of all these poxy electrical cables that have been dangling in my face for the last few days. So we're now at the stage where all the major work in the cab downstairs is done. I've patched up all the holes, I've removed all the paint that is likely to be removed completely, and I've also removed all the fixtures and fittings that I have no use for and that are in the way. So the next logical step would be to start the prep for painting. But there are two reasons why I can't start that yet. And the first reason is, when they fitted the 90s lighting, they removed a lot of these strips. These strips are what holds the bus together from the outside and on the inside. So I need to find a company that can produce these strips. They're kind of curved and they come in different sizes. Apparently there is a company out there, so I need to research that and figure that out so I can get all those refitted. That is pretty straightforward. The second problem, however, is a lot bigger, and that is the lights. It is all well and good to remove all the horrible 90s lighting out of my bus, but I've now got to find something that I can replace it with. In an ideal world, I would go out and buy all the original lighting, you can still get it, and fit it in my bus. But the price of it is so huge, it's just not commercially viable, which is really sad because I'd love to have the tungsten lighting. I have it in 2355 and it is really, really beautiful. So that leaves me with the only other option, and that is to find a company, a light supplier, that can find me something that's perhaps not an imitation, because I think that would look tacky, but find me something that looks good, is sort of a modern adaptation of, and that is functional and stylish. So that's quite a tall order. The other problem we've got as well, like I've said in the past, when they remove them, they used really crude tools. So there's quite a lot of damage on the panels. So we need to find something that actually covers that damage. So it's a big old job, and so because of these two reasons I can't show you paint this time around, but in the next episode of Pete and His Bus we are going to solve these two problems, and I'm also going to get into the layout and the design of what we are actually going to have downstairs. I thought I'd do a quick little barn update before I go, because probably about 250,000 of you are going to be asking, why are there 4 buses in the barn rather than the usual 2? So in a row, the first bus in the corner is RML 2634. That's Richard's bus. He bought it. We picked it up a couple of episodes ago, and in the winter months he keeps it here so that it doesn't deteriorate in the bad weather. The second bus is the one directly behind me. That is RML 2730. Obviously, if you don't recognize that, you need to get your head examined. The one next to it is RM2023. That's right, RM, not RML. 4 windows on the side, not 5. This bus belongs to Lady Barrington, Lord Barrington's sister. It's part of the Barrington estate, and Lord Barrington is going to be doing some work on it, and so she's staying here for a while whilst he gets ready to do that. And the last bus, of course, is my very own RML 2355, and I had a bit of a mishap with that last month. On my way back from London, when I pulled up to get fuel, I looked at the bus and I saw that 5 of the 10 panels had actually fallen off the side. Now, I don't ever lose banners, and I drive around with them all the time, so I didn't really understand what had happened. Well, as it transpires, it was so cold, about -6, -7, that the adhesive on the panels, on the Velcro strips, just gave up. So if you're driving anywhere around the A2 or the M25, going towards or out of London, and you see a load of Pete and His Bus banners on the side of the road, be a darling, pick them up and send them to me, won't you? I have spoken to Xpress Group, and of course, as per usual, they've printed off a whole new load, and they are already back on the side of the bus. So RML 2355 is back on brand, which is a good thing because I've got a lot of exciting events coming up for her this summer, and I've also got a really cool YouTube collaboration coming up with another channel. So that's about all we've got time for. Thank you all so much for watching. For those of you that have ordered merchandise on the website, there is a big problem with postage in the UK at the moment, especially for international orders. So please bear with me. It's actually kind of out of my control, but I will personally make sure that whatever you've ordered, you will get. Speaking of merchandise, it is time to get your copy of the combo sticker. That's now available on the website, and of course everything else is in stock as we speak. Once again, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Pete and His Bus. Toodaloo.
What you looking at? Huh? You don't mess with me. I've got big friends. Big red friends. Look behind. Big red. Yeah. Go away.